Really excited about it. I love Tekken. You don't need to like the specifics. I love Tekken. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. Thanks, Subsonic. How do you beat people who do nothing, aka turtles? Well, I mean, depending on your character, the game gives you options, right? To open up turtles. For example, as Wang, you know, it's very risky, but one good thing about Wang is when you duck in your opponent's face, just like Law, if you do a crouch dash, like a little, you know, walk forward and crouch, you can make them duck, because from crouch you have the option to hit them with a low that knocks down, which they don't want to get hit by, especially at the wall. Or you have a hop kick, right? It's very similar to Law. You can open them up that way. Really, that's the way the game works. You have, it's like if someone's turtling, you have to open them up. And last week's tutorial really is kind of focusing on that concept. Like if you do a jab and then move, it's just like a fight. It's just like a UFC fight, really, if you think about it. You just do your jabs, you move around, and you observe this opponent. Everyone's gonna attack. If your opponent is not attacking at all, that means he can never hit you, right? I mean, you don't have anything to worry about because he's never gonna do any damage. He has to attack to do damage, right? So if he's planning on ever attacking and winning, that's what you have to look out for. You have to look out for where is he gonna get his damage. Right now he's turtling. Where is he gonna get his damage, right? 9 times out of 10, if you're losing to a turtle, that means you're hanging yourself. You're hanging yourself. You don't want to just get baited by a turtle. If someone's being very, very defensive, either you're confident enough in your offense to crack the shell, or you're going to start playing defensive and you're not going to do something stupid, because that's what he wants. He's waiting for you to do whoops, boom, Electric City, or fucking big whiff, boom, he fell for it, baited, right? You don't want to be that baited guy. You want to be the guy that's like, you're trying to bait me, huh? I don't think so, playa. Watch this, Patient City. And then you stick out the little bait, you stick out the little whatever it is. Maybe you're gonna do some kind of stance or some kind of whatever, you know, the patience, and then you make him realize I'm not gonna take the bait. Thank you, O'Hare MG. I really appreciate your support, compadre. Thank you very much. Breaking turtles. Number one, the answer to number one, how to beat a turtle, is to don't fall for it. Turtle yourself. Be more defensive. That's the best answer, right? Second best answer, explore your character and understand how you can crack the shell. Does your character have a way to crack the shell? That is the second best answer. It's not the best answer. The best answer is always play defensive. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. It's the art of war, dude. It's a trap. If you don't know what's going to happen, you have to assume that it's a trap. If you don't understand, if you haven't seen the room before, you don't want to make a decision in the dark. You want to know the structure, you want to know the room's architecture before you make a decision in the room, because you're in the dark. You see what I mean? So the best answer, 9 times out of 10, is don't make a stupid decision. Because if you don't have any way to calculate this decision, then it's a stupid decision. It's dumb. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't even matter if it works. That's really important too. If you do something stupid and it works and you're high-fiving, that's why all these people like Sonken and Jesse Montez, they come out of nowhere and they they'll beat James or they'll beat someone, right? And they'll think they're hella good. But they only beat these players with bad decisions. And bad decisions will get you 1 game or 2 games or even 10 games. But it doesn't make them good decisions. It makes them shitty decisions that worked 10 times. It's still a shitty decision. So think about that. This is the difference between online players and offline players. That shit will work online, and even if you come offline, it could work, but it doesn't mean it's a good decision. It's a shitty decision. End of story. It's a shitty decision, you know? That's really what you have to consider when you're thinking about the right and wrong way to play Tekken. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to put it, but hopefully that helped. Let's see. Those of you who missed the tutorial, I'll upload it to YouTube later. What's up, OJ? What's up, everybody? Thanks again, O'Hare, for subscribing. I appreciate that very much. I'm an online boy. Hey, Aris, I'm an online player trying to make the conversion to offline. I find that Tekken can become mentally exhausting. Is there any way to overcome this? It normally occurs to me when it comes to poking the opponent. Tekken is mentally exhausting. And if you want to win, you have to pay close attention. I've never really enjoyed playing long sets or just casuals because... Thank you. Your joke was muted, thankfully. But I appreciate that, Karagrosu. When it comes to long sets in Tekken, I've never really enjoyed it myself because it's exhausting. It is exhausting, and you can't perform your best over and over and over again. That's really why I prefer tournaments. I prefer tournaments because you can sit down and you can literally exhaust all your mental resources in this small window of time and bring out your best, you know? That's what I really love about fighting games. Playing casuals and practicing and stuff really is it's good for, you know, learning the situations, like I said. But, you know, Tekken is an exhausting game. End of story. There's no way to sugarcoat that. This game is full of a ton of shit. Left-hand execution, endless sea of move lists and situations you have to be put in. It's exhausting. I mean, there's no way to avoid that. If you don't like that, it's not the game for you. You have to look at it more like step by step. There is no light at the end of the tunnel in Tekken. It's more like you're just enjoying the journey. There is no destination in Tekken. You're enjoying the journey. The situation you just learned, this one I just showed you, this situation has to be like, oh, I just learned that. Cool. I like learning things. Let me learn something else. Let me learn the next thing. What can I do here? I learned that. Let me learn the next thing. There is no destination in Tekken. It's too vast of a world to even consider that to be a destination, you know? It's too big. Anyway, hopefully that answered your question. If you're really concerned with being exhausted in this game, maybe you should practice the situations more. Because one thing I will tell you is it's only exhausting when you're frustrated, right? If you're really like, you know, chilling, you're just fucking coasting because you know every situation, then it's not exhausting at all, you know, because you understand the situations. So knowledge will help alleviate your stress when it comes to this game being so exhausting. But overall, compared to other games, dude, just think about spacing. In Street Fighter, it's so nice to be able to walk back and forth and boom. You guys know about footsies. The simple concept of footsies is you have two characters, right? Footsies means one of them reaches their limb and it whiffs. This guy punishes the limb. Hypermobius. Thank you so much, Hypermobius. I really appreciate that. Footsies, as I was saying, it means you have two opponents. One of them reaches in to try and hit, and it whiffed. You whiff punish that. Simple. Just like that. Now, in order to put yourself in the space where this move whiffs, you have to be moving, right? The moving aspect of Street Fighter is so easy. You just put yourself in that position you want to be in, and you just walk back and forth, duck, maybe whiff a jab here and there. It's not like that taxing, right? But in Tekken, the same concept exists. It's delay catching, you know, whiff punishing. The footsies exist. But the positioning is so exhausting on the left hand that it's like, wow, are you serious? You're trying to get me to do all this fucking shit, moving around, all this fast shit, just to play footsies? Think about that. You know what I mean?
People who can't play Tekken because it's too complicated are quite simpletons. That needs to be made clear.
Quite simpletons? It sounds like you're quite simpletons, amigo. Learn some grammar, compadre.
Knowledge will alleviate your stress.
I guarantee you that this person who just donated is not very likely to be good. But I also didn't hear what this person said. The grammar really made me stop listening. Regardless, thank you. I appreciate that. And I forgot what I was even saying. But thanks. Anyway, next question. Quite simpletons. Anyone who thinks that is quite simpletons. Come on, motherfucker. Get your grammar straight, at least. If you're gonna call someone a simpleton, you better not say it like a simpleton. That's at least my thoughts on it. If you're gonna start calling people simpletons, you don't want to look like a simpleton, playa. That's just the way it works in my hood. Okay, anything else? What's the right way to get up off the ground? Well, you know, like I said earlier about Street Fighter. So, in Street Fighter, when you're knocked down, you have these options on how to get up, right? Let's say it's Dragon Punch, Backdash, Block, or whatever, right? You have these options. Well, each one of those options has like a good idea on a scale of 1 to 10. How good of an idea is this, right? So Wake Up DP, typically not a very good idea because of the risk involved. It's like a hard read. And then you have Backdash, which is a slightly better idea, but still more risky than, let's say, blocking, right? So you have these options, and each option is different in value because of the risk and reward applied to these options, right? So Tekken is exactly like that, except there are more of them. So when you're on the ground in Tekken, I have all these different ways to get up, right? You have to understand the risk and the reward attached to each option. So typically in this game, though this will change in Tekken 7, but in this game, a back roll, though it is useful because it creates space and, you know, you roll back, the problem is that you can be really punished for it. So you have to weigh this in your mind. When I do this back roll, how shitty of a decision is it? Is it really going to create space? Or is this motherfucker gonna ruin my butthole because he saw the back roll coming? You know, these are up to you to decide whether or not it's a good idea, just like it's up to you to decide in Street Fighter whether or not a Wake Up DP or a Ultra or whatever is a good idea. There is a value to each decision, and each decision really has to be calculated by you and by your character and by their character. For example, here's another example. If you're on the ground, you know, there's a side roll option. What does a side roll option do when you're on the ground? Well, it moves you laterally, but slowly. It moves you enough, however, to perhaps make Okazemi width, right? So if I'm on the ground and Kazuya walks in and he wants to step on me, right? He wants to do a Geta Stomp. Viper Beam. Don't lose your train of thought. Thank you, Viper Beam. I really appreciate you subscribing. I really, really do. It may not seem genuine, but I'm really trying to not lose my train of thought. So, I lost my train of thought. You're side rolling to avoid a Geta Stomp, right? He's going to step on you if you don't side roll. So this is the logic there. You on the ground are thinking, I'm going to do a side roll because I have a feeling that he's going to run up and try to stomp on me. This is like you're applying value to the side roll. What can he do if I'm wrong, right? If I side roll and he doesn't do a Geta Stomp, is he going to really fuck me up, right? In Kazuya's case, I don't think so. I don't think that he's going to be able to really, really fuck you up for trying a side roll. So now you have a value to your decision, you have a risk versus reward, and now you can make your decision like knowledgeably. You know, like, okay, this is the decision to make. If I back roll, I could get fucked. If I side roll, I don't think I'll get fucked. Maybe mildly fucked. But really, it's not a bad decision, right? So then, boom, you have 2 or 3 concepts in your mind you're going through as you're getting up off the ground. The more you understand about that situation, just like I said earlier, the better you'll be at getting up off the ground. It's really a matter of situations, value to your decisions, and then just decision making. You know, that's really what it's about, just like any other game. It's just pretty complex in this game. I mean, when you get knocked down in Street Fighter, it's like, what is it? Delayed get up and regular get up and maybe tech roll, right? I'm not sure what all the different options are in Ultra now, but very few, very, very few options, you know, just to get up. In this game, you have all these options on how to get up, and then you could do something when you get up. You also have the get up kicks, you have toe kicks, you have mid get up kicks, you have low get up kicks, you have back roll and forward roll, you have fucking all kinds of weird shit. Some characters have unique stuff like that. I mean, there are so many options when you're on the ground. I guess one of the best ways to deal with it, just as a beginner, and I kind of covered it unintentionally here, but one of the best ways to get off the ground is to consider what your opponent is going to do to you. As I said, Kazuya might want to do a Geta Stomp, right? If Kazuya wants to do a Geta Stomp and you know he wants to do a Geta Stomp, you're on the ground, right? I mean, boom, he wants to do a Geta Stomp. I know how to get up, right? All you really have to do is apply logic. Don't just blindly do stupid shit by habit. Force of habit, or like, you know, I'll just hold back because I want to hold back. That's how you block. Back is block. Let me just hold back. You don't want to do these decisions without applying logic to them. You have to have some kind of like rationale to how you're going to get up. If you have no rationale, if you have no concept as to why you're making your decision, that means it's a wrong decision. It's wrong. If you don't have any logic to your decision, it's wrong. End of story. You know? So, I mean, if you want to make right decisions, start trying to look at your opponent and what they're going to do to you, and then apply your logic to that. I don't want to get hit by a Geta Stomp. Next time he does that, I'm going to side roll out of the Geta Stomp. You know? I don't know. Hopefully that helped. Let's see here. What else do we have? Thanks. I really appreciate everybody supporting, you know, the stream and you know, donating and subscribing and stuff. It does mean a lot to me. But, you know, you guys know, when I'm trying to do a tutorial, I try really hard to keep my composure and at least halfway sound like, you know, a normal human. So, no looking at flowers, no fucking nothing. And you guys know me. My train of thought gets fucking derailed super easily. So, I'm doing my best here. Let's see if we can get one more. I played Tekken since Tekken 6. Is it important to know the frame data? Or do you think learning the situations are enough for every character? Well, okay, that is like... that's like a bogus question. Because saying, is it important to know the frame data, is like saying, is it important to be really good? Or is it just important to be good? That's your answer. I mean... doesn't matter how good you are. If you're fucking super duper good, you never lose a tournament in Albuquerque, New Mexico, or wherever you're from, and you don't know any frame data. If you learn the frame data, you will be better. Duh. Right? You don't need the frame data to win, but to be world-class level, to be able to beat anyone, of course, the more you know, the better, right? You're not gonna... you're not gonna get better, and then you reach this point where you're super fucking good, and then say, nah, I don't want to get any better than this, because then I'd have to learn frame data. I mean, okay, what are you, a schmuck? What are you, a dumbass? You know? Don't be a dumbass. Frame data is more information, it's more knowledge. You don't want to go all the way up to this roadblock of frame data and be like, well, that's as good as I'm gonna get at Tekken. Fuck you, frame data, I hate math. I hate math too, but if you really like Tekken and you want to get better at Tekken or any fighting game, the more you know, the better you'll be. So, that's a bogus question. Like I said, it's a shitty question. Is it important to learn frame data? It's only important if you want to be the best. If being the best is not really that important to you, if you just want to be the best player in Albuquerque, New Mexico, maybe it's not that important. But you're never going to get past that world-class level unless you look at the important information. That's it. You gotta learn, dude. It's just like anything else. The more you know, the better you are. I told you about this situation. Boom. I made it simple because I feel like, you know, I want to simplify it for you people. But there's more to this tale. You know, there's much more to this tale. I told you guys that if you block a horse tamer, don't move, don't duck, don't attack, because forward 3 is gonna fuck you up, right? Well, there's more here. How many frames is forward 3 on block? How many frames is sidestep 1+2 on block? How many frames is it on hit? What does it do on hit? What does it do on counter hit? What is forward 3 on block? What happens if forward 3 hits? There's more to this tale that I didn't even get into during the tutorial, because I don't want to really bore the guy who asked me the question about frame data. That guy's gonna be like, what is this, math class? I'm not gonna fucking sit around here learning about frame data. So that's why I excluded it from that tutorial. However, just because you learn this situation doesn't really mean you know shit. You don't know anything. You still have to understand the situation in terms of numbers. The game runs at 60 frames per second. The more you see this game as the fucking Matrix, as numbers, the better you'll be. Ask Jimmy J. Tran, I don't even know what move this is. Ask Jimmy J. Tran how bad Nina's down back 2 is on block. And he's gonna tell you how bad it is on block. You don't have to be fucking the Hardy Boys to solve this mystery. Jimmy J. Tran's hella good at this game. He knows all the information. That guy who asked me about this question, if I ask that guy, hey, what's Nina's down back 2 on block? He's gonna be like, duh, I don't know. I don't like math. Well, that's why you're not as good as Jimmy J. Tran. I think it's pretty simple to understand that. You get it? Frame data. It's only as important as being good is to you. That's my thought on it. I think that's gonna wrap it up. My voice is starting to feel kind of hoarse. It's definitely break time, that's for sure. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to look at some flowers and get up and stretch. And I think I'm gonna play something too. I don't know what. Probably not Tekken, but just give me a couple minutes, maybe like 5 or so minutes to get up and stretch and have some water and stuff. Look at a bouquet, and I'll be back. But internet, I really hope that you guys found this useful. A lot of people, I guess, have had positive feedback on just the concept of me doing tutorials like this. So hopefully you guys, at least enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something, but at least, I hope it was enjoyable to you. Anyway, give me a couple minutes, internet, and I'll be back, and we'll decide what we're gonna do. Maybe I'll play some Demon Souls or some shit. Hang tight. Alright, internet. Let me arrange this bouquet. What are you guys up to out there? What's today? Thursday? Oh yeah, podcast is tonight. I think there's a bunch of stuff to talk about, right? Hey, what's up, No Pants? What's up, Oath of Revenge? Revenge. What's up, Mice Paradise? What's up, Chemistry? Black Chapters, what up? Damn. I don't know if I should play Max Payne or if I should play Demon Souls. You want to play some Tekken? No. No, I don't. Max Payne. Damn, a lot of people. I'm not really, I don't really pay attention to the result of the poll when I do a poll. It's more about what I feel like doing, but, I mean, if you guys want to make a poll and vote on it, that's up to you. Batman, I don't really like those games. I have them. Games suck. I mean, I don't like them. Doesn't mean they're that bad, but they're not for me. Detective mode. What's up, DN agent? I'm not really interested in those games. So great. If I recall correctly, they're kind of boring. I've played both of them though. I've played the second one for sure. The first one I watched someone play more or less. And what's up, by the way? Yeah, Uncharted 2 is something that I'm gonna want to play eventually, but I don't have it yet. Yeah, Anime Griffey. Now you're getting it. What's up? Now you're getting it. Aaron Black is confirmed to have what? I didn't see it. What's going on, chat room? Let me look at this shit real quick. Subsonic. That's not a terrible arcade stick. It has proprietary parts though, so you have to keep that in mind. It does not use a Sanwa JLF stick or Sanwa buttons. It uses proprietary Hori parts. Not that they're bad, it's just, you just gotta realize that. Your options for PS4 are kind of limited though, so it might be... It's not a bad stick. Also, it doesn't have a lot of wrist room. Subsonic. He's asking about the... what is this shit called? The Hori Real Arcade Pro 4 Kai for PS4. It's a good arcade stick, but it doesn't have a whole lot of wrist room, and it also doesn't use Sanwa parts. Boy, nothing like gazing at a beautiful bouquet after a tutorial. So what'd you guys think? Be honest with me. What'd you guys think in general? I mean, I know it's just like some random homeless looking guy rambling about a fighting game. But is this something you guys are interested in once a week? Because, let's face it, you know, I've done a lot of tutorials in the past, and a lot of people have told me that they appreciate it, so... If you appreciate it, then I'll do it. I like doing tutorials. I think it comes natural to me. How will the neighbors take? Oh, I didn't see it. I only caught the end of the tutorial. I'll upload it to YouTube for those of you who didn't catch all of it. And last week's tutorial, I think, is really important too. So I'll probably do a playlist, because I think these things are gonna kind of layer on top of each other. So maybe I'll do a like a playlist so you guys can catch each one. Yeah, some people say that, right? Thanks again for subscribing and donating during the tutorial. I mean, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where it really fucks me up bad. I don't know. I don't even believe in ADD. I think that shit's fake. But I think I have it. Man, I get so distracted. And I was like trying hard to stay focused. But when people donate and subscribe and stuff, it really derails my shit. How do you feel about Jimmy not being in this stream once since he was on ATP Live? What does that mean? In this stream? How do I feel about it? That's a weird question. I don't know what that means. He's never on this stream except for a guest on the show. And that's not like very common. Upsetting the ADD community?